Welcome to our journey through Holy Week. It's Monday, and we're talking today about cleansing the temple. One of the interesting things that is about this story is that Jesus is entering to the temple, and he says, "You are making this house of prayer a den of robbers." And what's so interesting is we know this as probably the time that Jesus is angry. He's flipping over tables, he is changing over the money changers' hands, and he is mad. But let me give you a little bit of context. The narthex here, it would be part of that temple area. It's outside of the actual temple, but the actual temple was reserved to men praying. There was an area inside the temple that was known as the Holy of Holies, and that was a spot that only the priest would go in maybe once a year to be able to light incense. And then you have this area. This was the area of prayer for the women and the foreigners. And you had people who were coming here to change money. Now, what you may not realize about that is that the money changers had to happen was that we all had Roman coin. And then it had to be changed into the house of God's coin, the Jewish coin, because they didn't want the face of Caesar to be in the temple. And so they were changing this, but the money changers, they kind of were robbing people. They were robbing people in the way that, think of like, I've got $1, I'm going to exchange it for another $1, but I'm going to charge a $5 tax in the middle of that. That's about what was happening. And it was happening in the place of prayer, the place of prayer for the women and children, the place of prayer for the foreigners. And yet, Jesus is upset because he's like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I want this to be a house of prayer, and you are turning it into a den of robbers. And when I think about that line, I think about how he is spring cleaning. He is spring cleaning this entire area. Maybe you're doing some spring cleaning of your own right now. Maybe you've been doing some spring cleaning this entire Lenten season. But what I will say is that we've got to clean our hearts. We've got to open our minds. We've got to open ourselves to Jesus, because it's Holy Week and Easter is coming. And Jesus is saying, clean the temples and open up for that prayer. Open up for that line of communication with your Father. Because right now, we're in a den of robbers. We're in a place that is a mess, both probably physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So let us cleanse the temple to be a house of prayer. I hope you have a great day, and let's continue this journey through the rest of the week. Amen.